Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Kitchen Table Modelling. For this time we have the FV4005 by Amusing Hobbies. Yeah, not really much to say about this one as it was a one-on-one prototype. So, first up, lovely box art, really beautiful. It's a shame that's in there because I would actually cut this out and mount this in a frame because that is actually very pleasing to the eye. On the side of the box we've got some lovely rendered camouflage variants, which is nice to see. Both sides of the box is just a shrunk down version of the front with a split image from the writing. And on the rear of the box we get a nice CAD-CAM image of the vehicle itself plus all the usual warning Mugabe. So when I don't smack the camera up, let's have a look in the box. I'll do. Okay, so instructions. Right, usual instructions. Nice shrunk down image of the front. Nice. Usual warnings, etc. There is no blurb for the spherical. She was literally a one-on-one prototype, but she was built. So, what do we get in the instructions? We get some really nice construction images. 3D is the best part. With very clear patterns and very clear indications of how things are meant to go together, where you're meant to glue, where you're not meant to glue, and whatnot. I'll have a quick flick through those in a minute. On the left hand side of the front page we get a nice layout of all the items in the kit itself. Decals, Zimmerite, not Zimmerite, no, because it's labelled as Z. Photo etch, and actual springs, track links and tow cable. So, quick flick through the instructions themselves. As you can see, it's all nicely laid out and actually get a nice option to be able to tension the track itself because it is all individual track links. Brilliant. Well, moving on. Actually, saying that, I'll quickly stop. So really nice construction of the final drive component out the back of the chassis. But then, really nice, beautifully laid out instructions, very logical. You're not jumping one piece to another piece to the end of the earth. Unique feature to the vehicle, which is very nice they've included this. Because I have seen a kit before where this wasn't on the kit. It's a bulldozer blade that goes on the back of the vehicle, so when they fire the 183mm gun, it doesn't go flying backwards in the opposite direction, it digs in. Because she kicks like a mule. So lovely storage boxes. So the actual box itself is moulded into the hull by the looks, moulded into the side skirt by the looks of it, and the panels go onto them. It's really nice. Nice breakdown of the exhaust system and various other components. And really nice clear indication of how the rear mudguards are meant to sit, because these are not the standard Centurion mudguards, these have been modified. Because this is a long Centurion hull, not the short version, which is what came about later. Okay, so on to what is now turret fabrication. So front mudguards, a little bit of photo etch that sits in between the hull and the actual mudguard itself. And it tells you exactly how it should sit, which is a really nice touch. It's nice to have included all the spars are separate, which is, yeah, here, there, never. Could have included them in the turret mould itself, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so turret construction is very basic, because there's not a massive amount to this one. But the gun is 3 parts, which is quite nice, so the joins are actually in the fume extractor rather than down the side of the barrel, which is very nice. Tow rope attachment, very nice. And a lovely little feature which I do like about this kit is the ability to have the gun stowed in the gun crutch or the gun crutch itself stowed, which is a nice touch because it is a very unique gun crutch. Okay, so on the back of the instructions we have one colour sheet, which is a bit sad, as she is painted in just standard bronze green last time I saw her outside Tank Museum. But they've teamed up with MIG, so you get a nice good clear paint codes, and also at the very bottom, same as like the rifle models and whatnot, you get a nice sort of step-by-step what products to use to bring out some weathering effects within the vehicle. So, excuse me, onto the actual meat of the kit, the plastic. So, lower hull for a long Centurion is, actually, I don't know the difference actually, I'm going to have to look into this. Nicely moulded, you can see a little bit of being left over from where they've clipped it from the original mould, not a problem. That will stand down nicely. But otherwise, no ejection pin marks, which is really nice. Some nice strengtheners, on the inside of the hull, so it's quite robust actually. But very clear attachment points. Apart from that, the inside, nicely done. You can see the thickness of the arm plate, and they've actually included weld. Let's see if the camera will pick this up. No, the camera's not going to pick that up. But there actually is weld marks along the entirety of the lower hull, which is a really nice touch. Well done, amusing hobbies. Because you don't often see that. Normally the underside gets neglected. Okay, so a really nice touch with this kit is your tow rope, photo etch, springs and decals are all in separate bags. Some people may call this waste of plastic, but I don't think so, because it is a case of you are not opening one bag and then potentially you drop that bag and everything goes flying or XYZ. It's all kept separate and it's nice and you know where it is. So tow rope, you get a decent length for that. The usual what you find in kits, usable but very easily modifiable. Decals themselves, you get a nice nameplate, vehicle registration, standard British Arm marker, and the maple leaf for the mock-up camo, which is nice. They're not overly thin, they're nicely printed. You can actually see they're raised slightly on the decal sheet themselves, so they will come off quite nicely, and they aren't going to be too flimsy. Okay, springs, actual brass springs, nice touch for workable suspension. That's going to be enjoyable. Photo etch, a very small panel of photo etch, but this is sort of stuff which is wafer thin on the actual vehicle. Nicely done, nicely stenciled and stamped out. 1,000,001 track links. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus on one of these quite nicely. I will apologise for my grubby hands, because I've just noticed how grubby they are. So nicely moulded for a Centurion link. But yeah, that's about all to say about that really. Okay, bag number 1. We have idlers, sprockets, exhausts, attachment points for idlers, sprockets, periscopes, tow rope attachment points, and various points for the wheels. Flip it over. Really nice touch on the details they've included on the insides of the wheels and both the outside. Really nice. Bag number 2, we have a mountain of road wheels and suspension components. So, main parts of the Christie suspension, arms and whatnot, really nicely detailed where the springs will sit. Should help the actual springs be retained. Idler wheels and mounting points and whatnot, really nicely moulded. No flash that I can see, and really nice detailing actually within the road wheels themselves on both sides. But no, really nice, no flash, no ejection pin markers where they are going to be a nightmare. Okay, bag number 3, we have the main gun. The thing this tank's all about is literally the gun. Periscopes, attachment points for lifting hooks, gun crutches parts, nicely moulded, and hatches. It's nice to see as well. Is there a seam line down the side? There is a very faint seam line that runs down the side of the gun, but that is not the end of the world. That will come out quite nicely. Front of the turret, nicely done with the overlapping of the plates, rivet marks, and periscope attachment points and whatnot. Really nice. No ejection point markers on those. and the inside of the hatches are detailed, so if you really want, you can have them open. Okay, on to the big boy. So the actual main body of the turret, the rear turret, the underside turret, the bulldozer blade, and various parts for the bulldozer blade themselves. So turret really nicely moulded. There's no steel texture on there because it is literally plate steel. So really nice with the riveting effect around the front of the turret and the joint in the plate here. There is actually weld marks upon those, which is really nice. And also along the inside of the strengthener rail, you can see where it is stitch welded along, which is really beautiful. Rear of turret, not much thing about that. It's literally a door stamped into the back of the turret, as it is with the real thing. A nice little detail they've included is the checker plate floor that sits in the bottom of the turret on a skeleton frame, and the bulldozer blade, which is really nice. Okay, bag number, I don't know, 4, 5? Okay, right, so we've got ejection points on the side skirts, underside. This is the underside, so that's nice. So these will all come off nicely, and it will all nicely be hidden away, so you don't have to do too much work in hiding those. Let's flip that over. Okay, side skirts, various exhaust components and shielding. Driver's hatch, I've realised I'm holding that off the camera's lens. Driver's hatch, nicely detailed with the fuel point filler cap, hatches and various other components, the exhausts. Side skirts, louvers for the engine deck and radiator area, side bins, and they are the attachment points for the front idler, as well as the main body where the turret sits, nicely moulded with the filler points. And the camera's not going to pick that up, but I can see that actually on the inside of these louvers there is a radiator texture. Okay, last bag in the box. I've realised I've been waffling on for 12 minutes. That's the underside, usual stuff. The ejection pin marks are on the inside, which is really nice. You don't have to faff around with those. Okay, more engine deck louvers, the final drive outer casings where it mounts to the hull, the side skirts for the vehicle themselves. That's what I was referring to. The actual boxes are moulded into the skirts, and you're just putting on the exterior detail, which is nice. Front of the vehicle, so frontal armour, glacis plate, nicely moulded, very clear. What they're called? Can't think what they're called. Witness marks of where to attach parts, but also in a trade-off, when you attach them, they will have a raised weld seam around them, which is a nice touch. And then onto the exhaust manifolds, the exhaust exit points from the hull itself, which is a nice touch. So, why don't I just buckle this back in the box? Bovington Tank Museum is currently in the process of restoring this behemoth. I will put a link in the description below directly to their page, as they've teamed up with Mr. Hughes, another YouTuber who does a lot with tanks and restores and builds tanks and whatnot, as he has an actual hull for this. I don't know how he acquired it, but good man. And he posts regular updates. Tank Museum, I haven't noticed post anything just yet, but we shall see. But they are restoring this hopefully in time for Tank Fest next year. So please pop over to the website following the link in the description below. Quick disclaimer, I'm not affiliated with the Tank Museum. They're not sponsoring me to do this. I'm an ex-tank soldier and I used to walk past this every day, so it'd be fantastic to see this piece running again. So then, on with the build.